Hello and welcome to the Overcomer Podcast. I'm here today with Philip Dukes, which is going to be a very fun podcast. Philip is one of my closest friends, and he's hooking me up by doing this podcast. So we're just going to get started, and this is going to be a very laid-back podcast. No pressure.
No pressure.
All right, Philip, favorite color?
Green, like a deep green, not like just your run-of-the-mill green, not like a yellow green, but just like
Deep green,
like grass, like summertime when the grass has had the fertilizer put on it.
Speaking in farm terms.
Yeah, it's a certain color there, but
okay. Yeah. Favorite food?
Got to go with pizza. Love me some pizza, specifically ham and pineapple. I'd say
ham and pineapple.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people don't like that one.
Yeah, pineapple's a little bit of it rubs some people the wrong way.
I never get the problem with that.
I don't either.
I love it too because you have the sweet and the savory and like the salty.
Mm-hmm. It's got it all.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The other day, this is how so on the download this podcast is. I was watching a video the other day and they did a pepperoni pizza and they had jalapenos on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try that. So.
Yep. Megan will caramelize some jalapenos or put them in cowboy candy.
Yeah.
She'll put if we do a frozen pizza one night, she'll throw them on the pizza and cook it up.
Man, okay, that's genius. All right, favorite memory.
I'd have to say my wedding day, seeing my wife walk down the aisle. At this point, that's what it is. And then the kids would follow that up. Yeah. Them being born.
Now, did you cry on your wedding day?
I did.
Wow.
I did. We did the first look and everything, so it wasn't then, but when we had a prayer time up on stage during the ceremony, and her grandfather started praying over us, and I lost it. But it was just a powerful moment,
yeah.
having a senior in the family praying over you, mm-hmm. And he was the last living grandfather of either one of us, so it was.
Oh wow!
It was just a touching time.
Man, I know on our wedding day, Ailey bawled her eyes out. I cried when we were doing communion and we were praying for one another. That's when I lost.
Oh yeah.
See, so those are the best memories.
Yeah.
Because and you guys did a first look, walk down the aisle.
And I would recommend the first look. It gets a lot of the jitters out, and then when you see her walking down the aisle, you can appreciate it more and appreciate the audience's reaction while she's walking down, because you've already got the first look jitters out.
Yeah. That is smart. For all you youngsters out there.
That's right.
Or older people. That's okay. All right, Philip, where'd you grow up?
Grew up in Milton, Delaware.
All right.
Good old Milton.
Milton. Family-wise, mom, dad, siblings?
Yes. Mom, Kay Dukes. Most people listen to this podcast would know her. She's the one who sets up and produces the programs here. And then dad is Jeff Dukes, the greatest sound man on earth.
Oh, yeah.
In my honest opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then have a little sister, Katie Mae Dukes. She's part of some praise teams here in Christmas programs. And she is engaged to her fiance.
Oh, yeah.
Matthew Legatt. This year, 2026, is a big year. They're getting married in June.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting.
So you're going to call her by her full name, her new name?
Katie Mae Dukes Legatt. That's it.
Are they going to keep the Dukes?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep. She's keeping Mae, so.
Oh, sweet.
It's going to be exciting.
Good for Katie.
Yeah, because you can't really say Katie without Katie Mae.
That's true.
So it's it's got to stay. And then my somewhat adopted sister, Sarah Lewis, and her husband, Joe Lewis. Joe, you'd see running up and down the hallways. Great usher, one of the best here at church. And Sarah, she's on praise teams, usually playing the keys, or y'all can hear her belting it out.
Yeah, she's got some pipes.
The Christmas programs. So yeah, that's my family in a nutshell. My grandmother's Rita Mae Dukes. She goes here, and Lina Carpenter. She did come here, and as she's gotten older, she can't really get out of the house too well. So she watches every weekend on YouTube.
Awesome. All right, so then we'll get into that because the whole family is very heavily involved. But then also you guys are also involved in something else, and your main occupation.
I'm a farmer.
Yep.
A farmer, yes. We till quite a few acres in the Milton, Allendale, Greenwood area. Family farm. I farm with my mom and uncle. They're the ones who run the farm. And then I have multiple cousins who are involved in the day-to-day operation.
Awesome. When you were younger, have you always wanted to be a farmer?
Yes.
Really?
Always. Anytime anybody would ask me, from the time I could talk, I wanted to be a farmer.
Wow.
Yep.
So you're just living the dream.
That's it. It's a very stressful dream, but I'm living it.
It's a fun dream in itself. Your kids, would you want them to be farmers?
I think I want them to do what makes them happy, but they've got to be able to afford to live.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to be like coming to mommy and daddy and asking for money all the time,
Mm-hmm.
But if they are farmers, I would think it would be amazing to work with them on a day-to-day. Like, being what I've been able to do with my mom and uncle and seeing them day-to-day and working together, I would love to have that with my kids as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
But I want them to follow their passions. That's the big thing.
Yeah. Well, they always have a job. They always have something that can be done.
Yes.
And help daddy with.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So
they've got that now.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. So your your wife, Megan,
Mm-hmm.
how long have you been married?
We've been married 9 years. We will be married 10 November of 2026.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Knowing the dates.
Well, the 12th, November 12th,
Look
2026. We've been married 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Has it gone by fast, or does it feel like you're in a prison?
No, I don't feel like I'm in a prison. It has gone by fast. Throwing kids in there, it goes really fast.
Yeah.
Because Ava is going to be 7 in May. And that's just
insane.
I don't know how that happened. Like, they say it goes fast, but it's like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
And then Levi being 3, he's at that really fun age where he's just so much fun. He can tell you what's wrong with him. He can tell you what he wants. And it's pretty reasonable. So, yeah, the time does not stand still for anybody, that's for sure.
Yeah, I will say, I have a very special place for your son because he calls me Toady instead of Cody. And Ailey did tell me that the other night you guys came over and he said Cody and pronounced it right. And Ailey said she just about bawled her eyes out. So I haven't heard it in person, so I haven't cried yet.
He's back and forth on it still. So
yeah, so I love the Toady. I think I'm gonna get a T-shirt. It says Toady on it. I'll go into Walmart and people will be like, "What in the world is that?" But awesome. So we'll talk about, where'd you meet Megan?
Met Megan the first time or the second time?
This is the best part of this story. All right, let's do the first time.
So the first time I had just graduated high school, and Megan's family had started coming to Crossroad. We had just recently moved into the new building and here in Georgetown, and they had started coming, and I saw this girl, and her family would come in first service and then leave. And then come in first service and leave. And there wasn't a whole lot of time to talk to her. So I went to her dad. I called her dad one day as he was walking out the door and asked her if I could take her out. He said, absolutely. So then Sundays to follow, I caught up with her, asked her to go out, and she said, yeah. So we go out. We do a double date with my cousin and his girlfriend at the time. And I don't recommend this to anybody, but we went bowling. It's a very cliche first date. And to follow that, we went out to dinner, and I asked her where she wanted to go. And not knowing if I was a broke teenager or not, she said later that she didn't want to say because she didn't know how much money I had. Anyway, I said, well, I'm going to follow my wallet. And we went to McDonald's. And her feeling bad, she got a Happy Meal because she didn't know if I'd be able to afford a meal for her.
I love that so much.
I did pay for her meal, but that's what we did. Some regret, but it was a great story for her. She carried that story all the way through college.
And how would she describe you to her friends?
The farmer from Milton.
The farmer from Milton?
Yes, and that she would say that she was never going to marry a farmer.
Oh, I love that.
And wouldn't you know, 4 to 5 years later, second chances. The Lord is full of second chances.
Amen.
So, so
redemption.
Yes, the redemption story. I asked her out again. She said yes, and I took her out on a good date. We went to Bethany Blues down in Lewis.
Awesome.
And I went and saw a movie, and she was hooked after that.
Yeah.
It was better. It was better. Actually, she wasn't hooked. It took me going all the halfway across the world for her to be like, okay, I miss him. I think I want to be with him. That's what it took. So we had been dating for 3 months. And I had a trip. I was in a course called Lead Delaware. It was an ag course, and it was about leadership development. So we had this trip that we had to go on, and our trip was to New Zealand.
It's insane.
So I was kind of in the same boat, and I was like, I like her. We'll see how this trip goes. If I miss her, then I think we'll just continue on.
If I miss her?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. I
love that.
And unbeknownst to me, she was in the same way. She was like, well, we'll see if I miss him. If I don't, I'm probably going to break up with him.
Yeah.
And I left in January, went to New Zealand for 2 weeks, and came back. And she had texted my sister while I was gone and said, I miss your brother. I'm ready for him to be back home. And that's when we both realized we're going to push forward and take this thing on through.
Awesome. Man. I know I always say I love just the McDonald's. I love that first story. There is no regret in my mind. That is legit. That's the best story. One day when you both are very old, you've been married for 40 some years, and you share that story. Yeah. So many people can relate, but like, I don't know. There's not many stories like that.
No, but it goes to show don't make up your mind on a first impression.
Yes.
give him the second date.
That's like the story when you see it's like these Hallmark movies. It's like a prince, and he's got all this money, and then he goes down and meets this girl, and he like pretends he's poor, and then the next time he sees her, he's in a castle or whatever, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I loved you for who you are." That's you, Philip.
Yeah, there we go.
So I also love the other part of that story is that whenever she sees her friends or saw her friends after they said, "I'll never marry the farm boy," of now, she's married to him.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's
your own little payback.
That is. A little bit of humble pie.
Yeah, humble pie. So in those years while she was gone, were you just farming?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I've farmed since I was like 7. Like I've been ate up with it. Love every aspect of it. I love going through a season. Like you get to go through every season, but you get to go through a planting season and a growing season and a harvest season, and you get to see that every year. Mm-hmm. And they say it's the closest to God you can get because you're relying everything's on Him and what He's going to do. Because you're only in the farming sector, you're only capable of you're in control of about 10 to 15% of how that crop goes.
Wow.
Everything else is up to how the world treats you as far as rain and wind and everything else.
Oh my goodness. Everyone listening, Philip is a genius when it comes to farming. If you have any questions, he will talk your ear off. He knows so much more than I will ever know. I've talked to him before, especially like the duck blind, and you'll start bringing up stuff. And I'm just like, I have no idea. So if you have anybody that says farmers are dumb or stupid with their money or poor, nah.
We are dirt poor. We are dirt poor. And that is like where, obviously the land has a lot of value these days.
Yeah.
But the money that goes in to farming and come out, your net is very slim.
Mm-hmm.
You're moving a lot of money, but you're not making it in the back end.
So talk about that. This was something I wasn't even expecting to talk about, but talk about the financial stuff of like the farm tariffs.
Yes. So we have inputs, which is your fertilizer, your chemicals, your seed that you use to get the seed growing and going. When the tariffs hit, a lot of our stuff comes from Canada. A lot of our chemicals are coming from China. So when the tariffs hit, all those prices automatically go up. So then, and obviously here with China not wanting to buy our commodities, so we've got a higher input, and the price of our commodities is going down because there's such a surplus because people aren't buying. That goes down. So then your margin for your error is so much smaller.
Right.
So the tariffs have hit us pretty hard, but just waiting on the government to fix it for us. I don't know if it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
But it might just be tighter margins for here on out. We don't know.
That's why we got Jesus.
That's why we got Jesus.
That's 100% why we got Jesus. All right. So if you could think of any other job that you think you could do, you'd be good at many jobs. I think you can make it.
Yeah. In farming, you're a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And you got to have a little bit of everything in order to keep all your equipment and such running. I have always enjoyed electrical work, and I think I could make a go of that. I don't know how good I am at it, but I love welding. I love welding. And I have to weld quite a bit at the farm. And so far, none of my stuff has fallen apart. But to say that I'm secure in how well I weld, it doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done kind of thing.
It makes it work.
Yeah.
I love that. That's I know your dad Jeff does sound, which one day I'd love to have him on here and we can talk about his whole story about sound. But I'll just share a little bit because I know he wouldn't mind, but he didn't want to farm.
No.
So he said, I'm going to take my own route, which I love that.
Yeah. So he was on the farm that my mom and uncle are running now, back when my grandfather was still living. And so I got to grow up with him, being there riding with him in the tractors and stuff as well. But when I was 8, he decided he was going to go to college to try and figure this whole, he knew how to run sound, but he needed some background. Mm-hmm. So he went to college for a year and got his background in it and was taking off with it.
Yeah, now he's crushing it.
Now he's crushing it.
It's insane. So another thing just want to talk about is, of course, this podcast is really on testimonies, conversations, things, everyday life that people have gone through. And I know you have one pretty significant specific story. So if you'd like to go into that.
This is the eye story?
Oh, yeah.
This is the eye story. So being on the farm, we have a lot of equipment that needs repairs at certain times. This one instance, we had a bearing, a big ball bearing, that had gone out on a viner, which is a piece of harvesting equipment. It was in a tight space, and I was using a torch, and I had my sunglasses on. Like I had protection. I was wearing a welding vest. Like I was doing everything that you would consider to be good. So I was torching through the collar of the bearing, which is what goes on the shaft. Usually they're sealed pretty tight from the heat. So I torched through it, and then I took a hammer, and I was going to usually take a hammer and try to turn it to loosen it up, and then it'll slide off. And I went to hit it to turn it, and a piece of the slag from where the torch had melted the metal flew in underneath my sunglasses into my eye. At that moment, I didn't know that. I thought someone just hit my eye. No big deal. It hurt. It was like when you get a piece of like sand or grit in your eye. Mm-hmm. You can feel it when you close your eye. That's what I was feeling. So I was like, oh man, that hurt. But I was like, well, that didn't do it. So I had to torch the other side of the bearing. And I finished the job at hand before going into the house to see what was going on. So I went to the house. I was like, man, this doesn't feel good. I opened my eye. I could see where there was like a slit. And the pain was getting worse. Tried to flush it out. Nothing was happening. I was like, all right, well, I think I need to go to the eye doctor, just get somebody who knows what they're looking at to look at this. So I called my wife, Megan. She was at work in Milford, and she came home, and we went to the eye doctor down in Lewis or Rehoboth, and he looked in there and said, yeah, there's a cut, but I don't really see anything wrong. But if you were my brother, I'd send you up to Dover to a retina specialist. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm not taking any chances. This is my eye. I've only got 2. So we went on up to Dover to another doctor's office. We were the last appointment. He stayed an extra half hour to wait for us. He looked in my eye and said, oh, yeah, there's a piece of metal in there. And I was like, okay. He's like, I could do the surgery, but I would send you up to Philadelphia to get the experts to do it. And I said, all right. And all this, like, we were just calm the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so obviously God was in it because, you know, you got the potential of your eye being messed up, this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And we're just sitting there calm as can be. And he'd given me some numbing drops in my eye and the pain went away. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't bad. So then we head off to Philly, leaving our 6-month-old daughter home.
Yeah.
And it's just me and my wife. And luckily my parents, we live right next to them. So they took my daughter for the night. And we headed on to Philly to Jefferson Hospital, the emergency room. So we get in there. We're waiting. They finally call us back. And they're doing all the checking everything. So I have this doctor come in. They're like, all right, let's look at your eye. And it's very bright. And, you know, if you've ever been to the eye doctor, they want you to hold your eye open. Yeah. Super bright. They're looking in there. So that one doctor comes in, goes out. I sit back in the chair. Another doctor comes in, looks in there, goes out. Another doctor comes in, looks at it, goes out. The fourth one comes in. And I said, I guess you guys haven't seen this before? And he said, not with an eye still intact.
Oh, my goodness.
Usually it explodes.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, that's when it's like, this is a little more serious than I anticipated.
Yeah.
And I guess the fact that I could still see out of it, because I could still see pretty well, it was just a little blurry. They said, yeah, and you shouldn't have that eye. Like, we've had guys where they like chipping concrete and it goes through and just blows their eye right out. Oh. So I started taking it a little more serious. Yeah. Granted, still super peaceful. Like, you know, this happened. We're going to get in the best hands possible. Obviously, God's got it. Yeah. He's going to lead us and direct us in this unknowing period. So at midnight, they take me to Will's Eye Institute. It's straight across the street. Got me a room and started pumping me with IVs, this, that, and the other. And because I couldn't remember my tetanus shot the last time I had that, they gave me that. So then the next morning, the doctor comes in, says we're going to do surgery. This is what's going to happen. They give me the rundown, talk with the anesthesiologist, and come to find out, the doctor who's doing the surgery is one of the best in the country. And a week earlier, he came back from California. So tell me that's not God's timing.
Yeah.
So then we get through. We're getting prepped. I go into the bathroom one last time before they wheel me out, and I take a hold of the counter where the sink is, and I'm looking in the mirror. And I said, Lord, You gave me this eye. If you take it, I'll praise you. And if we keep it, I'll praise you. And that's where you got to be in that situation.
Right.
It's a really tough thing to be going through. Like, you don't know what the heck's going to happen.
You don't have any control.
No, because the surgery apparently was more risk than what I'd already been through. So anyway, that morning we go surgery, come back, and I'm all bandaged up. I can't see a thing. So they wheel me in back. Megan's sitting in the room waiting. They wheel me in, and I go, so do I still have my eye? She said, well, the doctor talked to you, and anesthesia is some of the best sleep you're going to get. Right. I don't remember anything. So I asked her, she said, yeah, you still got your eye. I said, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Lord. We made it.
Yeah.
So I had a 1/4-inch sliver of metal that went in my eye. Now, Cody, it could have gone in my eye lots of different ways. But this piece of metal was guided by an angel's finger because it went around my lens, got stuck. Your eye is full of gel. It got stuck in the gel and didn't get to my retina. All of those things, pretty much in simple terms, is my eye was saved by millimeters, a hair's length.
Oh, my goodness.
So a few years later, because of the surgery, I was going to form a cataract. A few years later, I got the cataract surgery. Very simple. It's a 10-minute deal. They put you out, but it's 10 minutes, done. Had the healing process on that. And now my left eye is 20/20 vision with no issues. It's pretty stinking incredible.
How many people have a story like that?
I'm sure there's a few, but not many.
All right. So that was 100% the Lord.
That was
with
it.
You throughout it. That's just like you saying like the peace, because of course you don't have any control. Like you looking in the mirror, and that's that scripture of peace that surpasses all understanding. Mm-hmm. And just now you can look back and say, Lord, and then you can look back into of like, if I did lose my eye, would I still be praising Him? I think yes. Yeah. No matter what, because you decided it before anything happened. And also, I want to go back into your life even before this eye situation and then the miracle afterwards. It's not like you're praying to God and you're talking to Him for the first time.
Right.
This isn't the first time He's heard you speak to Him.
Right.
You've had a conversation with Him. So I'd say for everyone out there, do not wait to talk to the Lord. You need to talk to Him before bad things happen. Bad things are always going to happen, but do not wait till the last minute. And then you're like, oh, now let me get my request in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when they say in the Bible where you need to have your prayer always in prayer. Mm-hmm. It's like a phone, like nowadays is like a phone call.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, hey, how you doing? Is everything going good?
Yeah.
Like that's where you need to be with God. Like in the morning, when you're getting the kids ready or whatnot, just be like, Lord, thank you for this day. And just kind of keep that open. And then it's like when you call and you got an issue, He'll answer because you've been on the phone with Him throughout the year.
It's so funny. Yeah, so many people are like, I don't hear God. I feel like I'm so distant. And it's normally because you haven't picked up the phone.
That's it.
I do love that analogy of like, it is like a phone conversation. And we should see it as you're talking to anybody else. Of course, He's holy. He's above all of us. We need to be in just active worship. We need to humble ourselves. But He's also our loving Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how you talk to your dad on the phone.
Right.
Oh, I love that. So now that serious part, I have a funny part because I love you so much. If you had to wear, just say the eye did go. Would you get glass eye? Would you get eye patch? Did you ever even think of it?
I was like, I'm going to get a glass eye.
Yeah.
They make them. No big deal.
Right.
And we're just going to make it work. It's
right.
like just something I'm going to have to get used to. But I had totally come to terms with a glass eye.
I love that.
In my mind, I go to the worst thing possible.
Right.
So then if anything better happens, it's like, oh, well, we're on top. We're on top of the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had gone to the glass eye theory.
I love that so much. You could have put like a little googly.
Yeah.
And the little thing's just moving up and down while you're talking to somebody.
Well, you could pop it out and hand it to them.
Oh my goodness. You make people throw up.
Yeah.
I do love that. We can joke about that. We should be able to joke about that. Oh my goodness. And I think Megan would have stayed with you.
I asked her before the service. I did. I said, are you going to still love me with a glass eye? And she's like, yeah, what kind of question is that?
I'm sorry. At nighttime, I don't know if you're a person that like takes off your ring to go to sleep.
Yes. You just take my eye off and put it on the nightstand.
Take your eye off and your ring. Oh my goodness! And then having kids, you'd probably have to get a few of them because I got daddy's eye.
See it rolling across the floor.
Oh my goodness, that's too funny. Oh dear. All right, so I love that testimony. The rest of it, I want to ask people, have they heard, it doesn't have to be an audible voice, but how have they heard the Lord in their life, where they feel like the Lord has spoken, the Holy Spirit has moved, you definitely feel it's not in your control, it's something above ourselves. And this is something I want to bring up just because I'm very, very fascinated in all the ways, because I remember being younger and we would do different lock-ins where we'd be like, all right, we're going to take 30 minutes and we're all just going to pray. We're going to ask that the Lord speak to us. And most of the time I got nothing. And I was like, man, I'm just doing it wrong. I'm doing something wrong. But then as I've gone out through life, I was just looking in the wrong place. Where it was that phone, where it's like, I thought I had the phone up to my ear, but I had it on mute. Like I could see it, but there was no connection there. And then, just throughout time, I can look back now and say, oh yeah, I can't explain that. So, for people coming on the podcast now, I want to ask that question to you. If you've ever had a moment where you've heard the Lord speak, or the Lord speaks in many ways, if you have a way that the Lord has talked to you.
So, the Lord usually, he will get in a few instances, he has gotten my attention. He'll tell me to do something, and then he gives me a vision. So one of them, this before Megan, I was dating a girl, and I can take you to the spot in the field. I was row crop cultivating lima beans. And I was listening to the radio, and I heard the Lord's voice say, turn the radio off. So I turned the radio off, and I'm just sitting there, just going back and forth down the field. And he said, break up with her. And when I started dating her, I had seen a green light with a yellow light, a stoplight. And it was, go ahead with caution. Mm. And then at this moment, it was the red light. And she did not take it very well, but I went that night and ended the relationship. And I don't know, it's almost as though the Lord may have been, because she was not saved. She was not a Christian. Gotcha. It was an experienced dating situation. And, which I think everybody needs before some people need that before they get married.
Yeah.
Other people just get married in high school.
So good. How about that? So how did you bring it up to her? Did you say that same thing to her?
I did. I said, the Lord has told me, and I got a lot of flack from it because she was like, you're lying, yada, yada, yada. Her dad was like super ticked off.
Oh, man.
And then I'm like, we went into this. I told her, I was like, if the Lord says stop, I'm going to follow his word. And being a non-Christian, it's really hard to understand that aspect.
You went on the same page.
Yeah. So yeah, I ended that and moved on.
Wow.
Another time, I was sitting in a deer stand. I was on my phone. like not reading the Bible, like
Yeah.
just playing a game, thumbing through Instagram, And the Lord said, "Give me a minute."
Wow.
And I was like, all right. So I put my phone away and I'm just sitting there in a deer stand. Sometimes, people say they get cloud vision. So I was kind of looking up at the sky, just kind of seeing if anything was going to form or whatnot. That did not happen. But so he gave me a picture and he said it was a chessboard. I don't know how to play chess. Never played chess in my life. I mean, I played it sometimes, but I don't know enough about it to do anything with it. He gave me a chessboard and I saw this big hand go in and move a piece. And the Lord said, "I'm positioning you." And I'm like, okay. I don't know what that means. And I'm just awestruck. And then that was it. And that's not come to fruition that I know of. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm still waiting on that one. But
so even if it's 20 years from now, we do another podcast. If we're still doing this,
yeah, maybe I'll have an answer. But I don't have anything on that one. That one wasn't instantaneous. That one's still in the works somewhere.
Yeah, but I think we do need to hear those ones as well, because we always hear like he said he was going to do it, and then he did it. Because we normally meet the person later on, just like later on we'll see you. But it is good to be like, I'm still waiting too. I still don't know. Wow, awesome. Cloud visions.
Yeah, I've had a few. And I can't remember, like they didn't hit me. They didn't strike me like those two did. I think it was just like something that was going on at the time that gave me a little bit of peace in my heart. I've seen God move a lot in the farming industry. Like he would move storms or stop rain when we had to be planting or something. Yeah. He literally stopped it on the roadway of the field I was planting in so that I could keep going. It's neat being out in creation with them every day.
Yeah. For many people, they see like a rain cloud. They're just like, whatever. I'll go to work. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day.
For a farmer, it's like, well, this is either gonna make me or break me.
Yep. Please stop, rain cloud.
Or keep going. It depends on where you're at in the year. Yeah. We're always praying for either no rain or rain. We're never happy.
Isn't that funny? That is true. You think about how close you could be to God. I know many farmers that aren't close to the Lord, but in my perspective, I know how you couldn't be.
Right.
I mean, you're seeing creation come about, and of course, you're planting things, but it's His creation. You're just doing your work with the ground that He's given you, but I mean, it's all His. There's no control. Again, there's no control. And so those moments when like a rain cloud does move, and you're just like, thank you, Lord. Yeah. Thank you. And even sometimes when they don't move, it's like, all right, you know better than I do.
That's it.
You know that we can handle it. You've given us enough. I love that. That's really kind of towards the end of just talking. I think also all of our audience people, that's probably 3 people. That's what I say every time. But whoever's listening, we're probably going to do, I think I would love to do just we're probably going to do more than just this one podcast with you, just because we talk about plenty of stuff. I think next time, Philip is also very involved. Well, he's very involved in the church. He's pretty much the dude that's like on call. Your dad's is the on-call man, but I think you're right there too. If something needs fixed, something needs done. But all the Christmas programs, if any of you have ever been, Philip, majority of the time is helping put that together. And sometimes
for the sets.
I'm
not helping put the production together. I'll put the sets together.
But listen, Philip, drummer, you've done that many times. You've been Angels. Have you been Jesus?
Yes, multiple times.
So let's talk about that. How long have you been in Christmas programs since your mom and dad so involved? Has it been forever?
Forever. When I was, I might have been 3 months old when my mom sang for a Mother's Day thing at a church back in the day. and she was holding me as she was singing. So that was like my first caroling on the circle. Mom used to be heavily involved in. I was parts of that. I said my first lines when I was 3. I was a donkey. I've been a shepherd for a very long time, and then wise man, and then for the Christmas programs, and then I got moved up to Jesus at Easter. Like,
It's a big move.
It's a big move. Yeah, usually the past years, not been as much in the. I mean, the drummer, but past years it's just been me and my family being able to go up at the beginning of the Christmas programs, being involved in that way, and then doing most of the sets, helping get those put together and have getting the vision to reality. Mm-hmm. This is what I really do.
Yeah, I think the next time is normally your mom's vision.
Yes, yeah. Mom and Uncle Rick.
Yeah,
and whoever's involved in that. There's a group that is involved in getting the Christmas program to where it gets to, and getting their vision to where it meets their expectations, or exceeds their expectations in some cases.
Yeah. I bet that's the norm. You're the dependable man. That's the good thing about you. That's true. If any of you have ever met Philip Dukes, or hopefully you will, he's very dependable. You're someone that everybody can always call.
Thank you.
So that's a nice little thing to you.
I appreciate it.
Always dependable. Last question. We didn't talk about this beforehand, but leave with, even if it's just the 3 people, but even if it's just for me, one piece of advice you'd want to share.
Life advice?
Life advice.
Or biblical advice?
You can go together.
Man.
It's a big question.
It is a big question. This is one that you needed some time on. Isn't good, Cody?
You could say, ask, or what you tell your younger self.
I was up at a meeting this week, and I told them if I could go back and tell my younger self, don't be scared to go into reasonable debt.
Well, that is a good one.
Responsible debt. Like, don't go into debt just to go into debt to get what you want. Like, do it responsibly. But we were at an ag conference this week, and I was on a farmer panel, and that's the one thing. Like, there were some older gentlemen on the panel. I was the youngest by far, and the one guy had gone into debt thinking he was doing something, and ended up having to restructure.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't lose everything. And then the other guy went into a lot of debt, but he did it responsibly. And that's one thing I wish you could do for the younger generation, is go into be responsible with your debt, but don't be scared to take a chance on yourself.
Yeah.
And be confident. Be confident in yourself. I think that's something that kids today don't have. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And then some grown-ups don't have it. Like, they just missed it.
They don't even know who they are.
Right.
Yeah. I've met 40-year-olds who don't know who they are.
Yeah. And it's really sad. Obviously, most of those instances are probably they don't know Jesus and don't have them in their life.
Right.
And that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Know who you are in Jesus.
Everything will line up.
Everything will line up.
I think that was the best answer. I love that. I'll tell you what. See, that's what happens when you just ask questions out of nowhere. You get no prep time.
No prep time. That's it.
Definitely responsible debt. It is something that I told my wife, Ailey, which I heard it from someone else. I think actually it was a comedy podcast, but there's some wisdom in there. But it was a wife and a husband, and it's I'll just say it's Tim Hawkins, who's a very, very successful comedian.
You two kind of look like each other.
We do. The red hair. I met him, and he's like, "You could be my younger brother," which I took that very, very happily. But when he was first starting out, which is completely different than farming, but when he first started out, he was like, "I want to be a stand-up comedian," and the rest of his family was like, "You're an idiot. Don't do this. This is horrible." And but he kept doing it. And his wife finally sat him down and was like, "We're not making any money. We're extremely poor. But if we're poor, I want to know that there's a reason that we're poor. that there is a future to this, that there is a plan. And so for all the younger people and even older people, debt-wise, or you taking a chance on yourself with the Lord's guidance, there's going to be those moments of, all right, we're here right now, but I can see myself in the future that we will get out of this, that we can do it responsibly. Because a lot of people just see a big number and they're like, I'm too scared. I could never do that.
Right.
But you do. You need to take chances. We weren't meant to just be little scared people.
Right. Like, don't think you're never going to be able to, like, I don't know. There's, like, I'm 34. I'll be 35 in March. And I still got another life to live, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be 70 in 35 years. And look at how much I've accomplished now. What more could I do?
Yeah.
It's like, don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people like Colonel Sanders. He started KFC in his 60s. You know, like, there's so many of those instances where it's like, he didn't give up on himself. He may have failed a bunch.
No.
But
there's so many, like, singers and actors who was like, I've never seen them in anything, but they'll be in one movie or this person will sing one song. And it's like, that's the best person ever.
Right.
But I've never heard of them. You just got to keep believing.
Yep.
Yeah. So many people want to take the easy route. That's for sure. Farming is not the easy
No. It's not.
You can learn one thing from that. But I think that's it so far for this podcast. We will definitely do another one. I think the next one we might do is the Christmas programs. I think we might actually have pictures, and I'll print them out all nice and neat of different sets that you've made. And
There's quite a few now. I've racked up quite a few.
that's true. And then everything that just went into it. And then we talk about the fun stuff of like things you didn't like. And we're like, yeah, I would have changed that. We can get to the nitty gritty, but all good. So we appreciate you for listening. We'll catch you next time.